Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? We are back this week with another UFC breakdown and predictions. We got UFC 304, Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad 2. The first fight ended with Belal getting eye-poked in the second round after winning the first round on all three judges' scorecards. It was labeled a no contest, and now, after many years, we now have Edwards versus Muhammad for the welterweight title of the world. I'm just going to give you guys some breakdowns and predictions for the early prelims, and the main card. We're going to go through each fight. I'm going to give you some quick breakdowns, try and give you guys some predictions on either side, try and explain my reasoning, and let's just get right into it because no point in wasting time. First fight of the night, we have Shoana Banon versus Alice Ardelin. Ardeline? I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. Shoana Banon is most likely going to beat Alice. This fight is going to go probably 2.5 rounds. Alice is untested. She has fought bums. She has fought people that are not very good. Again, like the best fighter she's ever fought is probably Wei Li Zhang. And she was finished by her, but all of her wins, a lot of her wins, are coming to fucking nobodies, man. You guys are gonna, like, you guys have to pay attention to this. Nobodies. She's beating people who have barely even fought MMA, and most likely are fighting people who have probably thrown fights to her at least once or twice. So I would just stack the side of Shoana Banon. She looked half decent against Bruna Brazil. She just lost the third and first round, I believe. That was deciding. She is pretty good in the clinch. She's kind of shitty on the feet, but Alice is just, like, if you watch Alice's fight, she's just not good. So I'm just going to go Shoana. It's not a confident pick. It's more like one's way better than the other. Like, it's Alice, of course, anything can happen. She can get her tripped or something. She is 9-5. She does have some combat experience. I think Shoana has just fought better competition in her run in the regional scene. Next on the prelims, we have Mick Parkin versus Lucas Bresky. Or Brzeski, yeah, whatever. I'm going Lucas. A lot of people are picking Mick Parkin. Mick Parkin looked like shit against Cal Machado, and he kind of looked like shit against Usman. Those both, like, they both look shit. Mick Parkin is a big boy. Lucas is small. He comes in around 236 to 240. He is a leaner heavyweight. He is going to be a lot more mobile than Mick Parkin in round 2 and 3, and I think Lucas is going to be able to outpoint him. I think he's decent enough in the clinch where when he's put up against the cage, he's not going to get taken down, and if he does get taken down, he's going to be able to explode and get back up. If he does get taken down and he's held in full guard or half guard, Mick most likely will sit there the entire round. He's a big boy, right? 30-pound difference is a big difference, but I think Lucas, being the more mobile fighter, I think he's going to be able to piece up Mick. He's going to be able to keep it on the move, especially after that win over Walter Walker. It was a very close fight. I think it could have gone 29-28 either way. I probably had Walter winning that fight. I don't know. The takedowns that Walter landed weren't very influential, but Lucas was landing some nice power punches inside some combinations against Walter Walker. Lucas also has only lost to top of the top, man. Martin Bidet, Carl Williams, Waldo Cortez Acosta. I mean, those three guys are some really nasty fucking heavyweights. So I'm going to go to the side of Lucas. I'm going to sprinkle some side on the dog money. I think it's a better value than Mick Parkins, and I think you should just stay away until Mick's a little bit more tested. If you guys do want to bet this fight, I would probably bet over. It's probably going to a decision. I think Mick Parkins' best win is Jamal Pogues, and that doesn't really mean anything for me. I think Lucas is arguably better than Jamal Pogues. I think he'd be able to outpiece Jamal Pogues, especially after some of his recent fights. That Josh Parisian fight was just fucking horrendous, but anyway. We move on. Spending too much time on these early prelims. We got Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosby. I'm going Sam Patterson by submission. Kiefer Crosby has a no ground game. Kevin Jose pieced him up on the feet a little bit. Nasty elbow inside the clinch, and about a minute and a half left, or later in the round, he grabbed Kiefer like just from the back. He had a little body lock and like took him down and subbed him maybe 20 seconds. It just looked like he had no answer for the ground. He looked like he kind of got flustered, like he was trying to rush getting out of the body, like the hand lock that Kevin had around him, and he gave up his back right away. Like he literally got taken down. I believe Kevin was able to take the bat, and he hooked it in quick. I think Sam Patterson, being the superior grappler, is going to be able to take Kiefer to the ground, and if not, knock him out. But I don't think he's going to get knocked out. I think most likely it will be a takedown for Sam Patterson very early, round 1, and I think he gets a submission before the 3-minute mark. I just don't see Kiefer. Kiefer hasn't been improving in any of his fights. He's 34. He's not making a run at the title. He's not making a run at a top 15 spot. He's just here for Sam Patterson to come back because of that loss to Yanel Ashmussen getting knocked out by a fucking featherweight. Anyway, we move on to the next prelim. After picking Sam Patterson, we now have Manel Kape versus Muhammad Mokaev in a very, very interesting matchup after Manel Kape has always been pulling out of fights. I'm going Manel Kape by knockout. I think Muhammad Mokaev likes to hold. I think Manel Kape's going to be very aggressive, and I think he's going to be able to take it to Muhammad. Like, fuck, man. I think Manel Kape just has the power. I truly believe in his power. Zuma Gulov fight, man. Ode Osborne flying knee was crazy too. Yeah, I'm going Manel Kape. I mean, you don't have to take the knockout. Knockout's a nice little sprinkle, but I would go Manel Kape, man. Being the underdog, being a plus 105, when he is the elder, he is the more experienced fighter. He has had those tough losses. He has had those fights where he has to get tested and push through and win. Muhammad Mokaev hasn't had that. Muhammad Mokaev has been given a lot of fights, man. Fuck, Alex Perez. Oh, right, that's that fight. Right, Muhammad Mokaev also arguably lost to Alex Perez. I forgot about that fight. That just reminded me. Alex Perez kind of fucked up Muhammad Mokaev and kind of, like, he kind of fraud-checked him. I'm just, yeah, this is making me pick even harder now. Just go Manel Kape, guys. Seriously, it's not that big of a deal. If you guys don't want to pick either side, over 2.5 rounds, most likely this will be a boring decision fight, but I actually think Manel Kape is going to come out and knock the fuck out of Mokaev. I think Mokaev is a little cocky. I think he's going to go right for a takedown early, and I think Manel Kape is going to be able to keep him off of him. He's going to be able to get that confidence. He's going to be able to start putting those combinations on Muhammad Mokaev's face, just like Alex Perez was doing. All right, next on the prelims, we have Obon Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I'm going Obon Elliott, but this truly should be a coin flip. I think Obon Elliott, he looked like shit against Val Woodburn. The Kayak Brito fight is where I'm standing. If he comes in like that fight, he's going to win. He's going to be able to out-grapple Preston Parsons. I think Preston Parsons being he's heavily reliant on his grappling and his wrestling in order to get out of tough positions. I think Obon Elliott is going to be able to get out of those positions, and I think he's going to be able to force it on the feet. And I think Preston Parsons on the feet looks like shit. I don't think he looks that good, man. That Matthew Semmelsberger fight, Matthew Semmelsberger almost beat him. He was beating the fuck out of him in that second round. Like, he was on top laying some nasty ground and pound, some elbows. Matthew Semmelsberger isn't that good. I'm going Obon Elliott, man. I'm confident in the guy who's on the fucking big win train. The Cage Warriors fights are really shit for Obon Elliott. They literally looked horrendous. Maybe the James fight was okay. Sean McCormack, that fight was terrible. Matthew Bonner, he did well against Matthew Bonner, but Matthew Bonner's not that good. He did well against Herkus, but Herkus is not that good. I'm just going to go Obon Elliott. I think it being a plus 130 underdog, it's nice money. I think it should be a coin flip if it's going to be a fight. And if there's some money on Obon Elliott, you take it if you're taking the betting side. I think Preston Parsons losing to Daniel Rodriguez by knockout in round 1 is a bad look, man. The Trevin Giles fight, or Giles, whatever you want to fucking call, I don't care. I don't care what his name is. He's kind of a bad fighter too. Split decision, loss to Trevin. That doesn't matter to me. Evan Elder, I don't care. I don't care about Evan Elder. Like, what does that mean for you, bro? It means nothing. Take Obon Elliott. Take over 2.5 rounds if you want to be safe. Obon Elliott is my pick. We got next on the prelims. We're getting to the good ones, actually. Madeus. I don't fucking know. Bukauskas. I'm just going to go Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. I'm going Prachnio. I think Prachnio being an underdog here is a little funky. He is the better fighter. I think Bukauskas is really good at fighting boring fights, and Zach Pauga was evident of that. He enjoyed that 3-round beating. Marcin Prachnio is just like, he just seems to be the more mobile fighter. He just seems to be the more I'd say probably aggressive fighter when it comes to watching tape against these two guys. I think both guys are fucking shit. I think both these guys are not making top 15 in the world. But I think Prachnio has a larger chance at being able to impose his game plan against Madeus. Like, bro, I don't know. This is a tough fight to pick. Like, the William Knight fight is what bothers me, is because Martian probably should have finished William Knight. William Knight is fucking terrible, and William Knight threw like 10 strikes in that whole fight. Devin Clark was okay, though. Yeah, I would just go, I would go Martian Prachnio. I think Bukowski's a little untested. I think he's fought some shitty opposition. I think him having a second stint in the UFC is fucking pitiful. I think him losing to Jimmy Crute is just sad. I think him losing to Khalil Roundtree to that side knee, I think it's because he was taking no initiative. When you're watching back that fight, he was really scared of Khalil's kickboxing, and he just took too long, man. He was very tentative. I think Martian is just going to be able to fucking walk over him. I'm just going to take Martian Prachnio. I'm not going to try and explain it any further. There's just no point. Calvin Lauren versus Jake Hadley. What the fuck is this name? Cowlin Lauren? I don't know. Whatever. I'm going Cowlin. Cowlin's the better fighter. Jake Hadley got fraud checked the last two fights. Charles Johnson just pieced him up. Cody Durden just outworked him. Jake Hadley was really good in Cage Warriors. I believe that's where he was coming up. Yeah, Cage Warriors. I think he was champ, if I'm not mistaken. He's just shit, man. Like, I genuinely don't like him. I don't like him. I think he's terrible. I think Cowlin is just better. I think Jake talks a lot of shit. I think he's ugly as fuck. I think Cowlin's probably going to knock him out, but I'm not going to pick knockout because he's had some boring fights against Angel Pacheco and Taylor Lapulus. I'm going to go, I guess, over 2.5 rounds. Over 2.5 rounds will probably be a lock. But I would take just Calvin. I think being a -200 is a nice little take. Add him to a parlay. Take him on the side. Put $100 on him. You win $50. Have a nice night out on Saturday night. But I would stay away from Jake. I think Jake is just being fraud checked consistently, and I think he's just fucking terrible, man. I think Jake's moving up, right? Yeah, Jake's moving up. Yeah. That's a worry, man. When young fighters are moving up right away. Maybe that weight cut is what was fucking beating him, but I don't know. He looked like shit. Next on the prelims, we have Molly McCain versus Bruna Brazil. I'm going Molly McCain by knockout. Bruna Brazil looks like shit when she gets hit. She looks like she gets dazed with almost every hard shot. She got knocked out with an overhand right to Denise Gomes. Beat the shit out of that poor girl in the second round, or late second round. Molly McCann is a tank. She is going to rush down Bruna Brazil most likely, and she's going to throw some hard strikes, and Bruna's not going to be able to get away. I think Bruna Brazil is going to sit in the fire where she is most capable of being knocked out. I think she's going to sit in that position because she gets scared. I think she actually gets nervous every single time she gets hit. It's almost like she gets hit out of that fight mentality, like she's getting hit, like she's in fucking the middle of the street, and she tends to have, like, Denise Gomes, if you go back and watch that second round against Denise Gomes for Bruna Brazil, she gets hit with a couple left hands where her eyes literally go fully back and she has to like recenter herself because she loses balance. It's pretty bad. Molly McCann is going to knock this girl out. Bruna Brazil has no ground game better than Molly McCann, and Bruna's going to need a ground game to get Molly McCann off of her. I think, you know what? It's going to be better. I think Meatball Molly. I like that better. I think Meatball Molly is going to get a knockout over Bruna Brazil early, under 1.5 rounds, especially because this is in her hometown, right? Or I think it's hometown, but home territory regardless. Next and finally on the prelims, we have Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. I'm going Nathaniel Wood. He is way better than Daniel Pineda. Pineda is on the way out of the UFC. I think if he's going to win one last fight, this is not it. I think Nathaniel Wood is a fantastic prospect. I think he's beaten some of the tougher opposition in the featherweight rankings. I think Charles Jourdain, I yawn every single one of these, and it's fucking 5 p.m. I think Charles Jourdain, Andre Fili, those are fantastic wins. He had a loss over Muhammad Naimov, but Naimov is an undefeated, very good fighter. Or not undefeated. Jeez, I thought he was undefeated in the UFC. Nope, not undefeated. Wow, lost to Felipe Lima. Forgot about that. I lost that bet. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I was wrong. Muhammad Naimov is not the guy I was thinking of. Muhammad Naimov is a very good contender, though. He is very, very good in the featherweight rankings. He is, I believe, top 30. And he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. All right, short little stop there. We are back. we're going to continue with what I say. Muhammad Naimov is a very, very good contender in the featherweight rankings. He has beaten some nice guys in the featherweight rankings. He did lose to Andre Lima, who was coming from a jungle fight. I think that's where he was coming from. I don't remember. Some Brazil regional scene. It doesn't really matter. But Nathaniel Wood losing that fight wasn't that bad. He's going to beat the shit out of Daniel Pineda. Pineda, like, looked like shit against Alex Caceres. He hasn't lost since Cub Swanson. I don't think it matters. I think Cub Swanson being able to knock him out means Nathaniel Wood's probably going to knock him out, and I like that. I like Nathaniel Wood probably by knockout. I think Nathaniel Wood by knockout is the most likely decision. It is a plus 175 right now. I think decision is plus 200. I would take Nathaniel Wood probably by himself, but the problem is it doesn't really give you a lot of money. So if you guys want, do winning method and do double. I would do KO or decision. I think a submission is also live, but if you're trying to like not pick a specific one and trying to get 2 out of the 3, you probably go KO or decision. Those are the 2 most likely scenarios to happen. I think, KO or decision. I think submission is least likely to happen because Daniel Pineda has decent enough ground game to be able to keep Nathaniel Wood, who is a little bit he seems way shorter than Daniel. When I see them next to each other, it'll make me probably realize, but Nathaniel Wood seems really, really tiny, bro, and Daniel Pineda seems a little bit bigger in the cage. He does not seem 5'7", and like it doesn't seem like it's gonna be only a 1 inch reach or 1 inch height difference. But anyway, we're going to move on because that is the end of the prelims. Again, if you guys want to do a prelim bet, I would go Molly McCann by knockout at plus 200. I'd take Cowlin at a minus 200, and I'd take either Nathaniel Wood, or if you want to get spicy, I would take Oban Elliott or Lucas, because those guys are also underdogs, and it just adds to the parlay. That's a 3-piece. If you guys want to do a 2-piece that most likely is going to hit, do Molly McCann and Cow, man. Cowlin. Jesus, fuck. I can't talk. Those 2 would probably be like a plus 113 or something. Double your money. I mean, those guys are most likely going to win. I don't see how they can't win. We have a 5-fight main card that we're going to hit you with right now. We're going to start with the first one, Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. I think this is a perfect fight for Arnold Allen to come back from. He's lost 2 tough fights, 1 to Max Holloway? Yeah, Max Holloway, and then Movsar Evloev. I had Arnold to win that fight too, and Evloev fucked him up. Giga Chikadze is just like way worse than Arnold Allen. I think Arnold Allen has been improving even though he has been losing his last 2 fights. I think Giga Chikadze is decent, but I think Arnold Allen has the better hands. I think his loss to Calvin Kattar is a big indicator that Giga Chikadze is on the way out. Calvin Kattar is terrible when it comes to ground game. He doesn't know how to get up. Aljamain Sterling was able to beat the fuck out of him on the ground. Aljamain Sterling is also one of the best grapplers in the division right now. But aside from that, he got ragdolled. And I think Giga Chikadze just looked slow in his last fight, man. Against Alex Caceres, right? Yeah, just like a little slow. Just a little slow. It just... Like, I like watching Alex Caceres a lot. And Alex Caceres probably could have won that fight. And Giga fucking... looked like shit doing it. Giga looked terrible. Alex probably should have won that fight, but whatever. Arnold Allen by decision is most likely. I think KO's nice because, you know, Giga getting old. Arnold's going to be able to piece him up. He's going to be a little bit slower. Giga technically is coming into his male prime at 35 years of age. I believe male prime is 36 at peak. 34 to 36, something like that. But Arnold Allen, man, I just trust in him. I think he's got the home court advantage, right? He's been looking very good. He looked good against Calvin Kattar. He looked good against Dan Hooker. He looks really good against Yusuf. I think the hands is where this is going to come into play, and I think this is going to end early. I think the hands is where this is going to come into play. What does that even mean? I think the hands is where the game plan comes into play. Excuse me. Jesus, fuck. Arnold Allen's going to piece up Giga Chikadze. That's all I got to say. It doesn't really matter. Giga having the longer reach, I think Arnold's going to have to step in closer, and Giga doesn't really deal well with people right in his face. He likes to keep that kicking distance. Arnold doesn't really give a fuck. Arnold's going to be right in your face, and he's cool with it. He did look kind of shit against Movsar in that he kept distance way too much. I think after this camp and watching some Giga tapes like I have, I think he's going to see that Giga does shit with people in his face, and he's just going to walk him down. I got Arnold Allen probably by knockout, but I'd take Arnold Allen on the money line to be safe. We have next on the main card Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodriguez. Christian Leroy Duncan is fighting on home territory, but I think Gregory Robocop Rodriguez is going to knock out Christian Leroy Duncan early, either round 1 or round 2. I think he's just a monster, man. I think he is a swinging mess. I think being the fact that he has most of his wins by knockout, only a couple coming from other ways, I think Christian Leroy Duncan's going to get rocked, and I think he's going to get dropped, and I think he's going to get beaten the fuck out of by a bigger man. Dude, it looks like Gregory comes in like 210 when he fights. Christian looks like he's like maybe 190, 195. I think this will be the toughest test Christian has ever had in his entire life. I think this fight will not go the full distance. I think if you're looking to make money in this fight, you probably bet the under 2.5 rounds. But Christian Leroy Duncan's good, but I think Gregory Rodriguez, this is his time. I think this is his time. He makes a title run right now. I think the shitty fight against Brad Tavares that he had, he should have knocked him out way earlier. Brad Tavares is awful. The Dennis Talulin fight also was just, again, awful. Gregory Rodriguez has not fought anyone of this caliber. Probably Julian Marquez. And even him being the fucking Cuban Missile Crisis, like, Jesus Christ, these guys are all awful, man. Like, again, Bruno Ferreira is probably the toughest fighter he's fought, and he got knocked out. But Christian Leroy Duncan's going to have to heat into the fire if he wants to fucking win this one. And both these guys are definitely on the same level of competition. So, yeah, I would just take the fight not to go the distance if you're on the betting side. If you're on the, you just want to pick him, I would go Gregory Rodriguez by knockout at a plus whatever it is. Probably not that good because he only gets knockouts for wins. So, next we have Bobby King Green. No longer Bobby Green. It is King Green. He legally changed his name. King Green versus Paddy Pimblett. Okay, so my original... Oh, shit. I just dropped that. My original prediction for this fight was for Bobby Green to knock out Paddy the Baddy. I'm going to switch my prediction because I'm dumb. And usually when I switch my prediction, I'm wrong. So just keep that in mind, okay? Keep that really, really well in the back of your head when this fucking betting comes up. I have changed my mind because I think Bobby Green has not actually won against any competition that is half decent. Okay? I looked at his last wins. The best guy he's fought and beat is Al Iaquinta. He knocked out Al Iaquinta. He knocked out Grant Dawson. Low-key kind of a fluke. He beat the fuck out of Jim Miller. That's okay. That's a good win, but Jim Miller only fights guys who are like just coming to the UFC. It's kind of his whole shtick. I think Paddy might sub him. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm just gonna switch. I'm just gonna take it, and I think it's gonna work. Paddy the Baddy is going to sub Bobby Green probably round 1. I think Paddy the Baddy is going to get on Bobby Green's ass. I think he's going to shoot early. I think he's going to take advantage of the fact that Bobby Green doesn't really do well with super aggressive wrestlers. He doesn't really do well with people who have big hands and like to trade shots because he keeps his hand low. But Islam Makhachev was able to take him down and beat the fuck out of him. And that's what I'm worried about. Because Paddy the Baddy is very good on the ground. It's kind of what he's known for. Just being super aggressive and just running at you and taking you down and finishing you. I think Bobby Green's going to be susceptible to that because he's going to think he's a young kid. He's going to try and grandfather his ass. He's going to try and beat him up. And Bobby Green is going to get submitted via rear naked choke. That is my official prediction for this fight. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I think I'm going to change my mind again if I keep talking about it. So let's just move on to the co-main event of the evening. If you guys are enjoying this prediction, sorry for the interruption earlier and the yawns like always, but drop a like and a subscribe. I do these every single week. I'm trying to stream every single card every single weekend, do some fucking commentary for it. It's actually pretty fun. I've had some people come in recently. Come hang out with the boys, you know what I mean? Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades for the, I'm going to say the heavyweight championship of the world because no one should be defending an interim belt. That is fucking goofy. John Jones, vacate the title. You are a bum. You blew your pec out. You're old. Dude, it's fight game. You literally have to vacate your title. Everyone else vacates their title. Yuri did it. Jamal did it. Vacate your title. It is what it is, man. You have to do it. Be respectful. Let's go. I'm sure any fucking Cyril Gahn would fucking do it too, I bet. Tom Aspinall is going to knock out Curtis Blades. That's my official prediction. Going to happen early. Curtis Blades is going to go for a takedown. Tom Aspinall is going to say "fuck you," and he's going to push him off. You know what? This is going to happen. They're going to start. Tom's going to tag him. Curtis is going to try and clinch. Tom Aspinall's going to fucking rotate him. He's going to push off. Bang, 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 bang. Second round KO. Okay? Not first round. I'm changing my mind. Second round KO. Curtis Blades going to come back from the first round. Think he's going to change his game plan up and get fucked up by Tom Aspinall. I would just take Tom Aspinall by KO. It's like minus 105. Decision is decent, but I don't think these guys are owning the decision. These guys are fucking animals. This is a heavyweight championship of the world. This is 5 rounds. These boys are not making it 5 rounds. Someone's getting fucking finished. So take the under. Whatever it is. Under 2.5, under 1.5. Probably going under. Take the money. Take the under. That's all I got to say. Okay. We now have the main event. Now, you might not like it. You really might not like it. I have already bet $125 on the plus 210 underdog Bilal, remember the name, Muhammad, to beat Leon Rocky Edwards for the welterweight championship of the world in England, nonetheless. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because Bilal was winning the first fight, arguably. Okay, he won the first round on everyone's scorecard. You shouldn't really be worrying. Excuse me. You shouldn't be relying on scorecards when you're in home town advantage for the champ. You kind of have to take the belt from him, right? You kind of have to knock him out if you really want to take it. But Leon is really good. Bilal is really good. Leon's probably better than Bilal Muhammad. He has beaten arguably the best welterweight of all time in Kamaru Usman. He's beaten Colby Covington, who has wrestling that Division I people would dream of right now. Even in this, he was a D1 wrestler, I believe, when he was in college. Like, they would still want that wrestling. He's so good. Colby is so good in his wrestling. Like, perfect double legs. Perfect double legs. Perfect base. Like, he has perfect weight differential. Like, very perfect. And Liam was able to outpoint him in every single round, except for the last round, when Colby kind of turned on the gas. Bilal Muhammad just knocked out Sean Brady. Standing TKO of Sean Brady, who's a phenomenal contender. And he has a win over Gilbert Burns. I'm going Bilal Muhammad because I think he is going to come up hungry. I think he's in his prime. I think he's going to look better than he has ever looked. I think this is the only title shot that he's getting. And I think that he knows this is his only title shot that he's getting because of the fact that they ignore him. He has boring fights, and it is what it is, man. You have boring fights. Like, Israel Adesanya would not have gotten his title shot that quick if he was fighting like the champ. Like, how he fought when he was the champ, he would never have gotten any of those title fights. The Yoel Romero fight, all that. He would never have gotten the title shot if that was the fight before the title shot. I'm going Bilal Muhammad. I think he's coming out strong. I think he's going to blitz up Leon Edwards early. I think he's going to just hurt him. I think Leon's going to try and make it back. I think Bilal's going to outpoint him, and that's my official prediction. I think the smarter pick, probably, I think you guys should stay away from it, genuinely, is probably Leon Edwards, but I genuinely think Bilal Muhammad is going to come out better. I think just against Leon's style, I think Bilal's going to flourish. I think styles make fights, man. And I think Leon, the eye poke of Leon Edwards against Bilal Muhammad was kind of on purpose because he was trying to keep Bilal off of him because he was getting worked. So I'm going to go Bilal Muhammad, remember the name. That's my official predictions for this event of UFC 304. I'm going to give you guys, again, some parlays right at the end here. I smashed the fucking underdogs last week. I won shitloads of money. I was very impressed with myself, actually. And hopefully I'm going to do it again this week. I'm going to give you guys a 5-pick and a 3-pick like always, and I'll give you a 2-pick if you guys just want to make money. For the 5-pick, we're going to go Sam Patterson by submission or knockout on a double take. We're going to go Kowlin Lowrun. We're going to go Molly McCann by knockout. If you want to be sweaty, if you want to just take her by herself, she will win this fight. What is that, 3? 1, 2, 3. We're going to go Paddy Pimblett. Probably Paddy Pimblett by himself, just flat. Because he's close to an underdog. And then I'd take Tom Aspinall by knockout. That's probably a good 5-pick. If you'd rather just take fighters by themselves, I would probably take Paddy Pimblett, Arnold Allen, Nathaniel Wood, Molly McCann, Kowlin, Lowren. That's just safe. That's super safe. 3 pick if you guys want to make big money, if you're trying to like get in there and drop like $50 and make 350 or something. I would go Sam Patterson, or excuse me, Cowlin, Loren. I'd go Molly McCann by knockout, and I would go Nathaniel, or I'd go Arnold Allen. That's a good 3 pick. That probably is going to pay decent. If you want to put a 4th on there, you can add Nathaniel Wood. He's going to beat Daniel Pineda. Pineda fucking sucks, in my opinion, anyway. If you guys want to do a 2 pick, you're just trying to make double your cash, plus 113, plus 120, something like that. I would take Molly McCann Molly McCann by herself, and I would take either Cowlin, Loran, or Manel Cap and Muhammad Makayev go over 2.5 rounds. I think that's probably a lock on either side. Cowlin is just really impressive. I think my locks for this week are Cowlin, Loren. I think Molly McCann is a lock, and I think Tom Aspinall is a hard lock if you're trying to just do locky chalkies. But again, that's not going to pay you anything for a 3 pick. It's probably going to be it's still in the negative. Other than that, guys, I got nothing else for you. That is the predictions and breakdown for UFC 304. Hopefully you guys tag along if you can. If you can't, enjoy the card. It's not always about betting. It is about the fights more or less. Betting's just a fun little side piece. You get to get a little bit excited about the fights. But even if I wasn't betting, I'd be watching every single card this fight. They're all going to be good. I think the only boring one might be Shawana, but I think Shawana is going to be able to outpoint Alice in a fun fight where maybe she gets a little bit excited because she's in close to her home territory and with probably some Irish friends. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you later. Peace.